don't want anything too greedy with this kind of draft. And the Centaur is one of those perfect calls to have in the off lane. Because it doesn't need much. The Stampede obviously works very, very well with that Death Prophet because she can just chase people down with Spirit Siphon so easily. But what I was trying to say is with this Death Prophet, you need to revolve around that Exorcism. Every time it's off cooldown, you need to group up, either go for a team fight or you go for a push. You can't keep that off cooldown for a long time. And with these kind of drafts, you want heroes that just get online early, they don't need much, their toolkit is always very good in their skills, and I'm sure FlyToMoon, they'll keep up this trend with their picks. Just keep picking things that really don't require many items, and they can get into that mid-game, around the 15-minute mark, they can start getting aggressive. HellRaisers, though, with their draft so far, already looks pretty darn good to combat that. And I think HellRaisers should also just keep up that kind of drafting style where they're not going to draft anything too late game. Otherwise, they probably will just get run over here by FlyToMoon. The drafts can really impact how the game turns out. Well, I mean, they impact it quite a lot. Naturally, it's the draft. But HellRaisers, 20 seconds left.
Dire team pick.
Disruptor.
HellRaisers, they go for the Disruptor. And that implies Alina Core. FlyToMoon, they will happily take the Wraith King, and I love that pickup. Wraith King, another one of those heroes that doesn't need much to get aggressive with his team. You have 2 lives available. Not to mention, and I'm sure some of you have already seen this from streams like Arteezy's, for example, the Wraith King can flash farm so ridiculously fast right now with skeletons, right? In the laning phase, you'll see most players, they won't even go for the stun. They'll max out the W and the E. They'll use those skeletons, they'll rotate to the jungle and just flash farm, get a Radiance by 15 minutes, and start snowballing after that. Usually by the time we hit around the 20-minute mark, you'll see Armlet Radiance already available on the Wraith King. And of course, by that point, it's just so hard to stop the man.
Pick. Radiant team pick. Templar
FlyToMoon,
assassin.
finish off with the TA. And so is that... It's an offlane DP or an offlane Wraith King and a mid TA, I believe. Unless they run the TA safe lane, and they run an offlane Wraith King and a mid Death Prophet, but it is very, very open for FlyToMoon. HellRaisers go into the Naga Siren pickup now. And alright, well, 2 very interesting drafts. Personally, I like what I see better from FlyToMoon. You do still have some very, very potent combinations on HellRaisers, though. And I believe it was in the We Save charity event that just happened. HellRaisers, obviously, they had a fantastic time really putting up a performance up against Nigma, I believe, just yesterday. So you can't really doubt these guys at all. Of course, the Naga Siren as well does tend to flash farm pretty darn quick and can be very, very hard to control. You do have the Naga Disruptor combination, so sleep into Static Field and Disrupt and the Static Storm. Or Kinetic Field and Static Storm, I should say. And all this is very strong from both teams. This really should be an action-packed kind of game. That excites me very, very much. as per usual, I hope you've all had a fantastic day so far. I'm sure you were just watching the Chinese Association League that just came out. I believe it was B-Cop casting for you all, and obviously B-Cop's a fantastic caster. It should have been very, very enjoyable. Unfortunately, I couldn't catch it because we were having some technical difficulties. And of all things, I wake up today and my keyboard stopped working. So, had to find a replacement for that. Again, I did see somebody in the chat saying it was going to be myself and John X Fire today. Luckily for you guys, it does seem as though John X Fire is going to join me for Game 2. So, if you get sick of my terrible analysis of the game, don't worry. Game 2 will actually have a real analyst popping up and I can just do my play-by-play job. But the game has started. Pause is over.
I'll help my weak puny ally where I can.
Thirty seconds to battle.
FTM, going to be setting up for that bot rune, but you've got HellRaisers there, and they've got 3 heroes around. Killing off a hero is going to be somewhat hard with the Shadow Demon Disruptor, but you might have enough damage with Disruption and Thunderstrike and some right clicks from the Naga. There's Nyx, going to start moving up, Aloha Dance. Going to be able to walk away. He does cop the Thunderstrike, but not going to be too big of a deal for him. He'll grab the bounty. Looks like top lane FTM did manage to get 2 of them. And so it will be a 2-for-2 trade in the end. And Maposhka will rotate up with Funnick on the Pango. And we will indeed see the core laner being played by Kasani. We'll be up against Iceberg on the TA, and that's not going to be the easiest lane in the world for a laner. So Iceberg should have a relatively good time. Because he actually hasn't gone for level 1 Refraction, opting to go for the side blades instead. So we'll have to wait to that level 2 mark before Iceberg can really start dominating this lane. Kasani going to try and harass him as much as possible before he hits that mark. In fact, Kasani already out-leveling him on the laner. That's a lot of damage coming out, Iceberg. Almost going down. He does have a salve available, Kasani. No way to really cancel that off. Now, the Refraction is available. Looking over to that bot lane. General Aloha Dance up against Roger and Nyx. General should be able to dominate this lane up until you've got a few more levels on Nyx on that Naga Siren. You don't have anything in Riptide yet, which is really the only ability that can go up against this Centaur. Otherwise, he's just going to run you down like this with Retaliate. Nyx again, going to cop a hoof stomp now.
It is denied.
And, well, top lane. Excuse me, it was actually First Blood going up on Maposhka. Always want to fly. Actually dropping on the DP. My apologies for missing that one. B-Tune. Couldn't do much about it. In fact, is this a... I didn't even realize this is a support Death Prophet. That's not what I was expecting. Alright. Looks like Roger, though, going to be chased down now. General, he really wants to get this self-cancellation. Stroke of Fate is going to connect, and General is able to kill him off. Roger will give the tip to Aloha Dance for connecting that Stroke of Fate. That'll make the kill score 1-1. Bit of revenge taken here by FlyToMoon. And, well, top lane. Looks like Funnick does find Always Want to Fly again. Always Want to Fly on this support DP, having a bit of a rough time up against his Pangolier. Doesn't seem to be able to do too much. And well, they're going to go now onto V-Tune, who's going to cop a fair bit of damage. Static Field will be there, V-Tune. He does stick charge up, but it looks like the damage is going to be enough from Funnick and Miposhka. Miposhka will happily take the kill on the Disruptor now. And HellRaisers already getting so aggressive in these lanes. And this top lane from FlyToMoon with this DP, with this Wraith King, just not panning out. In fact, I spoke about not going for the Wraith Fire Blast in the laning stage, but V-Tune, he opts to go for it, and now the glimpse! Oh no! That is disastrous for FlyToMoon now. V-Tune gonna have to make the walk of shame. Always Want to Fly, meanwhile, going for a Spirit Siphon there onto Funnick. Doesn't really do too much. Well, V-Tune, he wasn't expecting the Disruptor to go for that level 1 glimpse at level 3. Instead, hoping for the level 2 Thunderstrike, but that is not the case. It's quite disastrous. Should have a look back to that mid lane. Kasani keeping up with the TA for now. Of course, Iceberg is leading with 19 last hit, 6 denies on the TA. And he'll rotate to the jungle a bit while his lane is being pushed out. Top lane again, Always Want to Fly, going real far forward onto Miposhka with that Spirit Siphon. That is a level 2 Siphon, so he does get 2 charges, and he can afford to run forward like that, as long as he connects both Siphons. Meanwhile, bot lane Roger going to be chased down with the Inkswell of Aloha Dance, and he's going to get stunned up with General of the Hoof Stomp. Roger can't get away from this. FTM will manage to pick up their second kill in this off lane. It's really the one positive lane going on for FlyToMoon is this bot lane where, of course, you're always going to have fun with this Centaur and Grimstroke combination. They have done a fair good job at slowing down Nyx. He's got 20 last hit, 7 denies on the Naga Siren, so it's not complete free farm. General is at top of the last hits board right now on the Centaur, so he's having a great old time. Look back at mid. Aloha going to be there with Iceberg now. You do also have a rotation from Roger. He wants to go for that disruption onto Iceberg and runs past that T1, but Aloha Dance is going to be there to slow him down. Kasani going to chase him down. Iceberg, he does pick up the illusion rune at least, and Iceberg is copping a fair bit of damage. It's not going to be enough. Iceberg does just walk out safely. It will be okay. While that was happening, General, he falls very, very low in terms of HP. And Nyx has that level 2 Riptide, and this is when he starts hitting very, very hard. Glimpse back. Always Want to Fly, top lane. Gonna throw the silence out with the Siphon again onto Funnick, and Funnick just does not feel comfortable enough to try and follow up with some damage. General trying to be aggressive, but Roger is back in the lane. Disruption going to come out with 4 Shadow Poison stacks. He cannot get a 5th one. That will mean General will be able to walk away safely. Not nearly enough damage with only 4.
You are not the first of the ascended to cross my path. Truthfully, though, you are little in comparison.
Top lane. They have found the DP. Funnick committing the Rolling Thunder. Always Want to Fly. as a support DP cannot sustain that much damage. Be another kill going on to Funnick. Second kill for him this game. And at this rate for the Pango, he's going to get a pretty fast Javelin. We all know once that Javelin comes out on the Pango, he does have a really big power spike with that Swashbuckle. And Iceberg. Gonna spot out Funnick. Always want to fly, gonna be there just in case.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, General, what are you up to, sir? He's just being a bit annoying towards Roger on that Shadow Demon. Does already have the double braces as well as the phase boots, and I wonder what kind of build he goes for. There is a lot of value in just picking up a straight pipe on this Centaur this game. Just so much magic damage on the side of HellRaisers. You wouldn't mind seeing an early Blink Rush though, because again, I believe FTM with this kind of draft do want to be aggressive throughout that mid game. They don't want to drag this out too late. Iceberg, meanwhile, has treads 2 Wraith Bands. Some nice stacks going on in his own jungle. Always want to fly. Gonna join in and just soak some XP. That should be a Deso Rush we're going to see from Iceberg. It's a pretty standard build on the TA. Could always opt to also go for the Blink, but generally speaking, you want the Deso first, especially with the push potential you have with the DP Wraith King. Looks like they have found a low hard dance on the Grimstroke, and he's just stuck in the kinetic field. He knows there's no way out, so he just tries to man-fight a little bit. It's going to be another kill. This time will be picked up by Kasani on the Lina.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Precious bounty.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Kasani looks to try and force out this tier 1 a little bit. It can be a little bit difficult when you're up against the Grimstroke with Stroke of Fate, but with that Siege creep, it shouldn't be too hard. You've got that Laguna up as well, so FTM, they've got to be careful how they approach this defense. Kasani's not really backing off, and they don't even get the deny off. They have to let it go. Meanwhile, Funnick, he was on the sidelines. He does commit the Rolling Thunder, completely whiffs it though and has to roll out. General thought about running in for a Stampede stomp, but does choose to just back off. It's a huge loss for FlyToMoon. That mid lane T1 tower is generally your most valuable tower throughout this stage of the game, and the fact that they've lost it with their draft is not great news. They will trade with a bot T1, but it's not nearly as valuable. In fact, you can argue it's the most invaluable tower in the game. That bottom top T1. And while they were doing that, Nyx, he's already rotated up top with the Naga. And he should be able to claim the T1 slowly but surely. They'll fortify for it, but nobody's making their way up to defend. Kasani joins in on the Lina. Kasani, through that time, he does now have a full Yules up. You can expect him to start getting a little bit aggressive, especially considering he does have an Invis rune active. He'll make a TP. Where's he gone? To the mid lane. It looks like a low hard dance is going to be the unfortunate victim of that first Yules. Laguna, is it necessary? Not really, he just holds on to it. Now the Soulbind did come out, and Iceberg, he's going to try and turn this one around, but he gets purged up immediately by Roger. Swashbuckle comes in, Funnick does want to commit Rolling Thunder, but doesn't yet, and now will. Always want to fly, gets hit by it straight away, and now Iceberg gets glimpsed back. Rolling Thunder will connect from Funnick with the LSA. And that's 3 heroes down thanks to the side of HellRaisers and FlyToMoon, just seemingly have no answer quite yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looks like they're just putting all their faith in VTune on this Wraith King to get as much farm up as possible, as quickly as possible. He's just trying to rush that Radiance now. He has got almost enough for that Sacred Relic pickup. But he's going to need it ASAP. Otherwise, HellRaisers, they're just going to keep going like this. Meanwhile, General, he does go ahead and rush the Blink Dagger. So he understands he needs to be available to fight very, very early on. As HellRaisers aren't giving them the time of day. They will smoke up with that new Blink on Iceberg and General. So no Deso yet either on the TA. He just wants to be able to have that mobility. And we do actually have a pause coming out. We do have the go-ahead very early. Kasani is going to be in the sights of FTM. Smoke broken though on the low ground. Kasani has spotted this out and LSA only connects on one. They got the blink off in time. And Valina still running away, but Stroke of Fate does connect and General is able to finish the job off. And now they rush for more. Maposhka be a very easy target, but he's behind the tier 2 tower. Iceberg still chasing with General, and there's the Meld Strike, but Glimpse is going to be there. Maposhka still running, but Rolling Thunder. It doesn't connect on General, so he's able to finish the job off. That'll be it. Exorcism will be committed by Always Wanna Fly. And this is their strong point now. This is their power peak. But the next 10 minutes or so, FTM, they're going to try and get as much map control as possible. They will start with the bottom tier 2. It's taken very easily, but once again, you look over to Nyx. He's sort of already set up for that top tier 2. He's almost got the mantra up as well. And FTM, they've got to keep going to work. There is no time to spare. But HellRaisers, they should defend this T1 mid with everything they have. When you have a Nagasaren in your team, you do not want to lose your jungle. And opening that mid tier 1 up means that it does open access to the opposing team's jungle. And that's when things can get a little bit harder for a Nagasaren. Still FTM. They pull the creep away. They've got a siege creep there, so they want to try and make as much use of it as possible. Fortunately for them, Kasani is already taking it down, and it will not be available for a push now in that mid lane. Meanwhile, VTune, almost enough gold for that full Radiance now. He just needs about 100 gold to get the recipe. And by the time he has that Radiance, you're pretty much going to have Exorcism back up. It's only about 30 seconds away. Is mid lane, Roger will get himself caught out by Aloha Dance and does end up getting killed off. And FTM gonna take the T1 now. It's a huge deal. HellRaisers not able to defend. Top lane, Always Wanna Fly. Gonna be chased down by some Nagasaren illusions. He does get glimpsed back, but Maposhka, do you really want to fight this? Well, when you have Nyx there, you definitely do. And he has a mantra up, so he can purge that silence off. And they do get the DP. And that's actually a huge kill, because he had Exorcism available. It's going to be 20 seconds where you can't actually commit it. HellRaisers, that'll give him time to set up for any sort of defense that's going to be required. As FTM, they smoke up, VTune gets caught with the smoke and gets glimpsed back again. And Nyx going to be able to go back in and clear out that tier 2 tower, but they are rotating up. Grimstroke going to be there with General with the Inkswell, and they easily find Maposhka, but now Nyx, he won't hesitate. He pops the song and TP's out immediately. And they got the tier 2 anyway. So although they lost that Disruptor, I think you're still very satisfied with that. Now FTM. Gonna start forcing in that Roshan. It's gonna be a very easy Rosh for FTM to take with these heroes. And they can really pursue more now with that Aegis. Iceberg gonna get even luckier now. Has a double damage rune active. Funny. Surprisingly enough, doesn't actually go for the damage build on Pango. He does rush the Vladimirs. Gonna pick up that Implore for himself, and Iceberg does end up fighting Miposhka. Miposhka probably just trying to get some deep wards in, but it does cost him his life.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
HellRaisers gonna try and set up that tier 1 defense up at the top lane. You've got a Diffusal now up on Nyx, so he does have a lot more damage burst potential, and they are going to go after the Wraith King Beechun. He can't afford to get his mana drained, but he's losing HP so darn quick anyway. Looks like he will have Reincarnate. Always want to fly though, does fall straight away. Now the Grimstroke being controlled by Funnick on the Pango. Aloha will survive for now, but Beechun won't be so lucky, and now the TA. She'll be the target, but Nyx, he's losing way too much HP. Still the Light Striker rate does hit from Kasani, and the TA does lose the Aegis. They did end up getting the Lina though. And HR, they may want to back off though. No, they'll go after Aloha Dance first. Grimstroke is down. Iceberg, do you still really want to fight this? The answer is no, he does not. And he does back out. And General will be forced to do the same. Though he doesn't really have a choice in the matter. He gets glimpsed back now with the Ensnare. Hoof Stomp will be there onto the Pango, but Funnick, he doesn't mind. He'll still have the damage output. In fact, they're going to find two. Roger, well, he gets taken down by Iceberg on the TA, who jump back in. And so FTM, the team fight looked pretty bad for them, but well, Iceberg still felt confident enough to come get another support pick off. He does get glimpsed back for a second, but he blinks away still. HR gonna keep chasing. Kinetic field, oh, it does connect, just barely. Iceberg, he's gonna be surrounded. Now the Exorcism being popped by Always Want to Fly, but it's gonna do nothing. And Miposhka, he has glimpsed in a second. He'll get it off. And Always Want to Fly. He tried to pop it to be able to defend his TA and force them back, but they just took him out so quick with this Naga Siren damage. And that's just such a bad team fight for FlyToMoon. It's so well played from HellRaisers.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
It's going to make it a 15-9 now. The net worth, it's been bouncing around between both teams, but FTM, they've lost a pretty significant lead. It's going to be a 2k net worth lead now for the side of HellRaisers. And even Vichun, we saw that last team fight, like, they let him get the reincarnation off. He had 2 lives, but it just didn't matter. That Radiance not really helping him nearly enough. Now he does have the Heaven's Halberd up. So that will also help in survivability, but is it going to be enough?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Something tells me no. Even Funnick has his own halberd up on the Pango. He's going straight for a Blink Dagger next.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Hurricane Pike going to be there on the laner, and Nyx, he's going straight into the heart of Tarask, and he only needs about 300-400 gold now to finish that off completely. And we're talking 23 minutes into this game, he's going to have that heart up with the Manta Diffusal and Treads. It's just really some insane farm coming out from Nyx. Once he's got that heart up, I don't know how you stop him.
Regeneration.
I just don't see the damage output from FlyToMoon unless it's Nyx being caught out alone. And even then, he still has Song.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They've left that top lane, so Funnick, he's just going to keep pushing it out and trying to force them back. They'll rotate over Iceberg. He'll be the one to make sure his tier 3 is not in too much danger.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
HellRaisers, they understand there's no need to rush this. They've got the late game potential with the Naga. FlyToMoon, however, are the ones that need to be dictating these fights. There is still the argument to be made that Always Wanna Fly could always rotate into a core DP instead of a support, but you look at his farm, he's nowhere near it. So the chances of that happening before the game ends is very, very low.
Loaded to the gills.
Tune. Let's spot out Funnick. Can't really do much when he's got that disarm on. Meanwhile, mid lane, FTM, they go for a smoke attempt, and they'd love to find this laner. Kasani, though, he already walks so darn quick, and he's just going to walk away.
Dire are scanning.
They scan him out for a second, but they're just nowhere near him. Although Nyx gonna get caught, Hoofstomp gonna be there with the silence. He can Manta that off, but it looks like he's not gonna have enough time. Disruption though will be there from Roger just in the nick of time, but still no Song coming out. And now Iceberg, he's gonna push for more. Kasani, he's the target they want. Iceberg's BKB has worn off, and now the Soulbind will fly out. It's holding the Rolling Thunder in. He can't do much. Funnick, it does eventually wear off, and he's going to keep chasing him down. Always Want to Fly, the real target. Nyx, he bought back. They'll take him down, but now V-Tune. Can you take down this kind of monster? Well, if he doesn't have any mana, you probably could, and he's completely run out. Nyx, he'll continue the chase up. Funnick, he misses a swashbuckle, but he does get vision. The glimpse will be there. V-Tune, can he get this TP off? No. The Song is going to be there from Nyx. And V-Tune gonna die for his trouble. I believe that was still a 2-for-2 trade, and you did still force a buyback out from the Naga Siren, so it's not all bad for FlyToMoon. But FTM, they're not able to capitalize off those kills at all. And now, HellRaisers, they're looking to push the issue further. Funnick, he's not able to find the Grimstroke. Lohar will be able to walk away. It's like General's desperately trying to get a Shiver's Guard up after that pipe came out. Can't really blame him too much. Up against the Narg, you need as much wave clear as you possibly can get. Of course, the bonus armor never hurts either. I imagine we'll probably see an AC coming out later on in the Wraith King anyway, so you'll have both of those armor types that are going to be up for FTM eventually. In fact, speaking of armor, they get a craggy coat. It's always nice for this Centaur. Though it looks like they're going to hold on to the spider legs on general for now. Poshka, Inkswell, going to be there on general. He blinks in, and that should be a very easy kill on the Disruptor.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Iceberg, what are we going for? Trying to pick up a Chrysalis, so we could expect a Bloodthorn coming in very, very soon for Iceberg on this TA. As well as that, Shadowblade is now available on VTune. He was originally trying to get a Silver Edge, but instead he will switch to the Mjolnir. It's going to be solely to try and get rid of those Naga illusions. The Mjolnir active that you can put on yourself is very effective in clearing out those illusions quick, but you're going to have to figure something out now because the Roshan is being taken from FTM, but they blink in with the blink and stun, and the Soulbind all going to be there, and it looks like Funnick is going to go down, but Nyx, he's going to try and fight this back, always want to fly, going to get bursted very, very quick on the DP. They'll go straight back into that Roshan pit now. FlyToMoon will not be able to contest this any longer. That'll be the second Roche of the game, this time going to HellRaisers. Cheese will be on Kasani, Aegis will be taken by Nyx. And FTM, they're just not ready yet. They need more time. The more time you take, the more time you give to HellRaisers. Nyx, he's going to have enough time to get a full butterfly up within a few minutes. He already buys out the Eagle Song. Shiva's gone. Going to be available now in general. We'll have a quick look at the win probability, and it's actually very, very even. 54% the way of FTM right now, in fact. And the game is just, it's been a little bit up and down, but overall, Dota Plus thinks this could be a pretty even game for another 10-15 minutes at least, though. Soulbind, bot lane will come in. The Centaur was baiting. They got the double silence off and always want to fly, going in there with the Spirit Siphon, and now the Hoof Stomp comes out. Iceberg, he clears out Kasani, and Roger has nowhere to go. It looks like he will die. Nyx, he jumped in on the Naga. He gets a song off, but Funnick, what are you rolling into, sir? Get the hell out of there. And FTM, they're going to keep chasing. Inkswell, Nyx, he has nowhere to go this time around. Shiver's Guard and Inkswell does connect. The Nyx Assassin, or rather the Naga Siren, is eventually going to get taken out. That'll be the Aegis. And there's going to be nobody there to help out with this secondary life. In FTM, not having any issues thus far now. 3 kills going their way. And they should be able to set up for a tier 3 push, as there's no buyback available on Nyx.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He still needs it a minute and a half, and he doesn't have the gold anyway.
Radiant's
An 8k net worth lead for FlyToMoon.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's
And perhaps it's HellRaisers that may have waited too long now. It's FTM.
has fallen.
As long as they get the jump they want, they just look so strong going into these fights. Now with 1 racks up, 11k net worth lead, I'm curious to see how much the graphs change for win probability, and there it is, 76%. I'd have to agree. Iceberg, he says screw the Bloodthorn, I'm going for a Daedalus.
Radiant's middle tower.
So you got some crazy damage output out of this TA. They've also still got the Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower up at the top lane to still take, so there's plenty more gold coming to FlyToMoon. But there is going to be a smoke. HellRaisers
Top tower is under attack.
going to start rotating around. They want to go through the river, trying to get a pinch
Top tower has
on
fallen.
the side of FlyToMoon, but we do have a very unfortunate pause. Question is, who is it unfortunate for right now? As Nyx, he's already in position. He would really love to have his butterfly up, and he'd love to have some buyback gold, but he doesn't have either. Nevertheless, they feel confident. Who do you jump on first? I think it has to be Iceberg on the TA. You could always opt to just go for the Death Prophet, but always want to fly. He's not even in position, and he doesn't have the exorcism anyway. So he's not really going to be doing too much. And is that double pipes up? Yeah, it is. They have 2 pipes. A bit of a communication error between the DP in general and the Centaur. Still, unpause coming. HellRaisers. Oh, never mind. We have another pause. I mean, he is still disconnected, so... Wait, how did he even unpause? Okay, he reconnected and then disconnected straight away. Hopefully the lag issue has been sorted out for Aloha. Here we go again, HellRaisers. How do we approach this? They'll wait for now. They see General. He'd be a great target, but he's a little bit too tanky to try and go on first. Still, Kasani, he's moving forward, and the smoke has broken. VTune, he goes in the invis. Glimpse is going to be there. The Centaur already losing half his HP, but there's a Soulbind coming out with the double silence. General tries to turn around, but the song is there. Do you go in or go out? Funnick, he wants to go in with that Static Storm. They've caught the Centaur and the Wraith King. They'll lose at least General for now. The Wraith King going to be the next target, but he does have mana for the Reincarnation. In fact, he doesn't even need it. He's got the level 20 talent. VTune, who do you go on? He wants the Nyx, although he does die. First life gone. Nyx still going on to always want to fly, or rather always want to fly, turning out on him. The Naga Siren, she will get dropped. Maposhka now, trapped in a corner. Iceberg, he jumps in but gets disrupted up by Roger. But Iceberg almost bursting under the disruptor with 1 hit. Traps flying out, FTM. They're going to continue this chase. And Maposhka, the trees will not save you, as VTune may need to get out. Reincarnation not available, but he does have it in 9 seconds. He gets disrupted up. Aloha cannot save the day. HR now looking for more. They look to punish the Grimstroke, trying to run away. Aloha goes for the TP attempt, and I believe there's no actual way to cancel that. So he will get out. And poor Aloha Dance, apparently after that disconnection, had all his binds removed. So FlyToMoon had to take that team fight with a Grimstroke that just did not have all his binds working properly. Or in fact, none of them working properly. Thank goodness for that. And wait, go? There's still a disconnection. General just gives him the old XD. There we go. There's the reconnection. Always want to fly. Just a bit preemptive with that. Still the DP. Where are we? Laguna straight to the face, always want to fly, does go into that ghost form, and does she actually get out of this? LSA was not available. Kasani just wasn't able to finish the job off, and Maposhka, I'm pretty sure he had glimpse. But I think he may have just assumed that the DP would have died. And still, a great team fight for HellRaisers. I think for Nyx on the Naga right now, it's going to be quite important for him to ensure that buyback gold is going to be up. He does need a little bit more for that Talisman of Evasion, about 600 gold, so he can finish off the Butterfly, but what use is a Butterfly if you can't buy back after a team fight? FTM. They'll go for a smoke. This would be a great time for a fight as well. If they could pick one off, it would be absolutely huge as, again, Nyx does not have buyback gold. And even with that Butterfly, he just seems to melt so quick. So VTune gonna start pushing in that tier 2, trying to bait out the side of HellRaisers. The smoke has already broken. Those illusions will scout them out on that high ground. Whoa! Aloha Dans actually has the Dark Portrait, the Aghanim Scepter up. That's actually, those are pretty strong. 150% damage with that illusion. If it gets ignored during a team fight, it can be very, very scary, and it has 30% bonus movement speed. Sure, it takes 350% extra damage, but again, it's one of those things that you tend to just kind of miss during a team fight, especially when you have so many illusions already going on from that Nagasaran Shadow Demon.
We'll lead as 3 kings.
Looks like Iceberg gonna continue to try and finish off his MKB now. That'll be very effective up against that new Butterfly of the Naga. But now we have the Aghanim Scepter up for Roger, so he does have 3 charges of his ultimate. So generally speaking, that's going to mean 3 heroes from FlyToMoon are going to be purged for quite a while during these team fights. And that is huge. What's also huge though, FlyToMoon going to find a Roshan. This is going to be the 3rd one of the game with a Refresher Shard. And they'll give it to Always Wanna Fly, so now you have double Exorcism up. You could always swap that over to General as well, in case you want to give him double Stampede during a team fight, but Exorcism does seem way better. Especially considering how long it lasts. An Iceberg. Oh boy, he's going to be hitting very hard. He's got the Enchanted Quiver attached as well, so you have that immediate 300 magic damage off the first strike that you're going to get with the TA. But with the Meld Strike and the Daedalus, as well as that 300 damage, Roger's going to have to be careful. So is Miposhka, but Stampede is going to be there. Who are they chasing? They're going after Miposhka right now on that Disruptor. He'll glimpse one back, and with the Glimmer Cape, he's surviving for now, but VTune is keeping up. He gets the Shadow, the Silver Edge strike off, and they do eventually get the kill. And that Silver Edge is actually going to be pretty effective as well up against that Naga. Just breaking that butterfly evasion. Gonna be quite nice.
Arcane power.
Always want to fly. We'll throw out the Exorcism. Still copying a lot of damage. Laguna gonna come out, and she's already gone. Rolling Thunder in the back. Funnick trying to find another. They get the Centaur. Soulbind is going to be there, but is it going to be enough? It's actually working against General. So they keep Funnick on the spot. And that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. VTune still thinking about going in. They are going to stick around, but there's the Yules coming out from Kasani. LSA going to land. VTune will use the Silver Edge, still Iceberg, jumps in but doesn't get lucky with a crit. But he's copying a lot of damage now, even through that BKB. Nick's going to run in, but it's not going to be enough. She does manage to TP out in time. And they will hold that mid lane of Rax. Tier 3 will also remain standing. VTune looking at Nyx. Wraithfire Blast is dodged by the Manta. VTune still has the Ink Swell. Soulbind going to be there on Funnick, but it connects on nobody. So Funnick, he'll keep rolling around on the back, trying to find more. He gets everybody, in fact, as they do get the first life of the Wraith King, and Funnick, he's still rolling. It does eventually end, and they will run out. VTune, he's going to have his ultimate up in 25 seconds anyway, so they are going to try and make another push. Smoke will be there. FTM would love an opening. They see some at the bot lane. VTune, how do you engage? He does not. That General has the Ags up on the Centaur now. That Stampede ever so strong. Funnick gonna try and split push this top lane, but VTune gonna run past with the Silver Edge. Funnick, understanding something's awry, will just keep running towards the north. But they are chasing. They know this Pango's somewhere. Funnick will get away, or maybe he won't. He got spotted for a second. Now Rolling Thunder going to be there. VTune going to continue chasing him down. Funnick actually finds a flicker on the way out, but can't pick it up, so they'll give it to the Wraith King, and he'll just TP away through the Rolling Thunder. And I guess it was kind of lucky it was just a flicker. Flicker's not really the greatest tier 4 item you could pick up. Does anyone even bother using it? No. No, they don't. Still, FTM holding a 9k net worth lead. We are about 45 minutes into this game, with no real end in sight. So we could get lucky and see some tier 5 items later on. In fact, HellRaisers right now don't actually have any tier 4 items used on any heroes. That's probably because they've been locked in their base the whole time. That does give FTM a very, very nice little advantage. With Aloha Dance with that 20% spell amp. Be very, very nice. Excuse me, the cooldown reduction. So Stroke of Fate, he's going to be able to spam it every 4 seconds. Even the Dark Portrait, 28 seconds. Inkswell, 12. Phantom's Embrace at 16. And the Soulbind at 40. Funnick at least does get a Havoc Hammer. And still not the greatest tier 4 item, but the added strength and the 30 damage is pretty nice. Like 18 strength. Pretty darn useful. We do have another pause FTM, still having some issues with lag. Aloha Dance does give the go-ahead, but HellRaisers are going to hold out for a little bit, but there we go. Ooh, top lane. Or bot lane, rather. They do catch up with Poshka. Stampede, gonna be committed for that. That is a pretty big cooldown for FTM. They do get a gem out of it. You do have a buyback available though on that Disruptor. So he will be back if there is going to be a team fight. It looks like there will be, as Exorcism is going to be popped. Always want to fly. Going to start moving into that tier 3. He doesn't have Refresh Shard available any longer. They are going to find one. In fact, he gave the Refresh Shard over to Aloha Dance, so now you have 2 Dark Portraits that you can take out. As well as 2 Soulbinds, so that Nagasiren Dark Portrait does finally get taken out. Aloha won't need a refresh yet. It's going to be off cooldown anyway. Nyx. Snare gonna be there. Rolling Thunder, Funnick, he jumps in. There's a team fight starting, but the Soulbind comes out. And that'll stop everything from happening. In fact, now they jump in on the side of FTM, but Disruption is gonna be there on Nyx. Wraith Fire Blast, though, are gonna fly out with that death. Nyx falling low, another Soulbind, but FTM will not be able to follow up. Now the Yules don't always want to fly as well as the LSA. He's falling quite low. Laguna flies out, and that'll be enough. But they found the mid-racks. And that's all they really wanted. They're 1 racks away from getting those megas up. During that team fight, Miposhka did manage to finally finish off that Aghanim Scepter on the Disruptor. He doesn't have buyback gold, but he's not too far off anyway. And that Ags is going to be very, very useful in these team fights. Then again, though, Aloha Dance now has a Scythe of Ice up, so I would argue that's even more useful. Or FTM. Looking to try and set up on the next Roshan. It has the Aghanim Scepter as well as the Refresher Shard available on it. The 4th Roshan of the game, and look at these Shadow Poisons coming out. 5 stacks already as well. That's a lot of damage. Disruption going to be there though on Funnick, and he does manage to swashbuckle out, and now the Song. They've lined him up. Where's that Static Storm? They can catch the backlines and at least get 2 of them, but Miposhka, he gets it off in time. That's going to be really disastrous as the TA can't get BKB off and does die. Aloha's down as well. Funnick just rolling around, controlling up the side of FTM, and V-Tune, he'll be the 3rd one going down. Now the Centaur just trying to turn around and help his team out. V-Tune though, he's falling way too quick, and Iceberg, he bought back, he jumps back in, but it's too late. The Wraith King's gone. He'll buy back now as well. Iceberg dying back on the TA. And HellRaisers, they now have a Roshan available to them. And FTM cannot afford to try and take another team fight at this Roshan pit. Nyx has a Bloodthorn up. Aghanim Scepter upgrade. That'll heal up everyone through the Song of the Siren. And that is some pretty significant heal as well. 10% of your HP for everyone within that song range. And, well, don't even worry about the Ags. We have a Divine Rapier now on Kasani. And what a game this has turned into. Kasani going to be hitting very, very hard on that Lina. He has had enough of this game. And they have got a 70-second window right now where there will be no TA available. So HellRaisers, they start pushing in that mid lane. 1 minute left. All ultimates are up for both teams. So it should be a huge team fight for both sides, but FTM, they need to wait for the TA before they engage. Still Roger, he jumps in with the disruption, and Funnick immediately with the Rolling Thunder does connect on the Grimstroke. They can't afford to lose him like this. They do. He won't have buyback. V-Tune also getting caught out on the raking, and that's his first life gone. Can they find a secondary? It looks like they definitely can, and there's no buyback on him either. This game could be over, and the GG's been called. Iceberg, he knows they can't fight back with no buybacks. And that's it. 51 minutes in. The first game of this best of 3 is in the books for HellRaisers. And man, oh man, what a game it was. Of course, we have a potential of 2 more games between these two. It is a best of 3. And more importantly as well, we are going to have John X Fire joining us for that second game, which will be coming up in about 5 to 10 minutes. It is MLP Dota, and I look forward to seeing the next game. I'll see you all very, very soon.